Hi everyone, and welcome to Holy Week. This Monday is the first day of this Holy Week, leading through the week to Maundy Thursday on Thursday, and then Good Friday on Friday. And then following that we have the lull of Saturday before celebrating Easter on Sunday. And I don't think any of us have experienced a Holy Week quite like this one is going to be. So it's a new experience, a new opportunity. I was talking with Lisa Odom this morning, and she said, "Hey, Pastor, what you're asking me to do is a challenge, and I really like a challenge." It also has made me think of our dear brother Larry Hinshaw, who always talked about embarking on another new adventure. So this is a new adventure for all of us as we explore what Holy Week 2020 is going to mean for us all. So, how are you responding to all that's going on? Are you finding that it's a challenge, and are you responding to the challenge? Or are you finding a new adventure? Or are you bored to tears? Has cabin fever set in? I'm not sure that I can be much of a help as your pastor with the cabin fever problem. But let me just feed back to you a few ideas that I'm hearing from people. And universally, people are saying it's really important to get out of the house. Once a day, go for a walk, go and explore the neighborhood. Somebody else was talking about sorting through old pictures. They have containers full of old pictures that need to be sorted, and they've been sitting there for years. Another option might be to go deep into your family history. Maybe call a relative you haven't spoken to for a long time and see if they know some stories that you don't know. Or maybe you'd sign up for Ancestry.com and do the exploration that way. There are some things I confess I need to be doing if I had more time at home, cleaning up the garage, tidying my study where I am actually as I record this message. There are lots of things I need to do, but at the moment I'm not getting around to doing them. You might want to bake a cake or create a recipe you've never done before. So you might want to read a good book, maybe a book that's a little more challenging than the ones you normally read, or maybe you want to learn Spanish, or maybe you want to learn how to create a video and share a skill or hobby so that you can share your skill or hobby with your St. Mark's family, as I'm asking a number of people to do. So when I was working as a therapist, I worked a lot with people who were depressed, and it often seemed to be helpful for people in depression to identify one thing that they were going to do that day. And if they were able to do it, it was really good. And what was important was that they didn't overwhelm themselves with all sorts of things that they knew they ought to be doing, but rather just focused on one of them. If they got it done that day, great, but if not, there's always tomorrow. At the same time, I have to confess, as I said, that cabin fever is not my problem at all. Quite the opposite. I'm finding my days are really, really full with phone calls, with Zoom meetings online, planning worship, planning the Zoom confirmation class, which we had on Saturday, which was such a wonderful experience. For me, taking time off is the problem I'm facing, and making sure I take a day off, which really I haven't done for a couple of weeks. At the beginning of last week, I realized that both my body and soul were getting pretty stressed out, and it was ironic for me that that came on the day after I had led you all in a meditation exercise, a deep breathing exercise, which of course is designed to de-stress our bodies, as I mentioned, lower your heartbeat. So I need to take some of my own medicine and learn these ways of centering and slowing down and taking time to renew. So for those of us who are working, those who are essential workers, for those working in healthcare or grocery stores or other businesses that have increased traffic, my message is, please make sure that self-care is high on your agenda, that you take time to care for yourself, to be still, to center, and to know God's presence in your life. One way you might do that is through reading a scripture during Holy Week each day. I've put a series of scriptures and questions into the Markings newsletter that Irene is circulating today online. For those who have a connection with somebody who is not online and you think they would be interested in that, please tell them about it in a phone call and explain to them what's involved. Thursday, as I mentioned, is Maundy Thursday. The word Maundy is not familiar to a lot of us. It comes from a Latin word, mandatum, which simply means a commandment. And it's the story of the Last Supper, Jesus meeting with his friends and sharing a meal right before he goes for trial and then for execution. But what he says to his disciples as they gather for that last meal together is, a new commandment I give to you. And the commandment simply is to love one another. So Maundy Thursday really is Love One Another Thursday, and a reminder that in the face of terrible evil and hate and fear, Jesus was inviting all his followers to love. On Thursday, you may want to take part with me in a remote Holy Communion. So I would encourage you, before you go on to your computer or your phone to watch the video worship on Maundy Thursday, that you go to the kitchen and get yourself a piece of bread or a cracker or something else like that, and get a little glass of juice or something else that you might drink when you're having dinner. And bring those two things with you. And then I will be leading everyone through a communion liturgy. And then we'll each take the bread and the cup in our own homes. We did this as part of the confirmation class a week or so ago, and it was really terrific. People appreciated it. I'm also planning to send out a brief Good Friday service that will be a meditative kind of service, and I invite you to make sure that you take time to remember Good Friday, the terrible suffering of Jesus, and all that involves, all that it implies. Easter service will be coming to you on Saturday, and you can watch it on Saturday or wait for Sunday and enjoy your Easter day. I plan at the moment to be in the sanctuary to take part in this special service. We'll celebrate Easter on Sunday, and then we'll celebrate it again with much gusto when we're back in our sanctuary and we can make a lot of noise and truly celebrate the promise of new life. Before I end this message, let me encourage you to check out two special videos that will appear in the next few days. One from Lisa Odom, giving you a recipe and some instructions on how to create, I believe, a shrimp chowder. This was the soup she was planning to bring to the Maundy Thursday soup supper as part of our Maundy Thursday service. And of course, those plans were cancelled. So she is offering this as a gift to all of us. So please check out Lisa's video. You'll also be getting a video from Sylvia Cruz, who is also a terrific cook. And she has a special recipe and a special way of doing an Easter cake. So if you're wanting to prepare an Easter cake, this could be the year to do that, because it takes some time and it could be a lot of fun to have a special Easter cake at home. Thanks to all of you who responded to my appeal to send in your pledges and even send them in ahead of time. Please keep them coming. There's been a great response and I am deeply grateful. Your financial commitment and support during these difficult days is truly an inspiration. And I am deeply grateful. Thanks be to God for each of you, for your life of faithfulness, your life of love, and your willingness to explore a new adventure as we share in this alternative style of church during Lent and Easter 2020. After Easter Sunday, I'll be starting a new series Had been planning to do this anyway, but it makes just a whole lot of sense now. We spent Lent looking at fear, and during Easter we'll be looking at hope. So thanks be to God for the gift of Easter, the gift of hope. And may your Holy Week be a very holy and blessed time for you. God bless you. Bye-bye.